little one, welcome to Startup TV. I'm Johanna. Today we're going to be looking at one of the biggest obstacles when it comes to female entrepreneurship: money mindset, investments and funding. As a former female entrepreneur myself, I failed mainly because of finances, and I don't want you to go through the same experience. So let's look at the root causes, numbers, talk to some experts and get inspired by successful female entrepreneurs.
So last year, VC and business angel invest around 2% of female startups. Last year, there was the list of 100 the most successful startups in Germany. From 100 successful startups in Germany, 4 of them were only led by women. Women create also a different kind of business in compared to our male colleagues. Women create a business in e-commerce, sustainable business, or something with the family. What guys are doing, they create software companies, they create artificial intelligence, they create SaaS as a service product. We have to make sure that young generation of women would like to also go in this direction and be brave and try to just make it happen. I'm investing a lot. I'm also owner and founder of the online investment platform for women, and we invest in stock markets, we invest in ETFs. I personally invested since 2008. After my graduation, I finished my master in 2008, and just right after financial crisis, I started investing my money.
So my name is Alice. I'm the CEO and co-founder of The Family. And at The Family, we believe that anyone can become an entrepreneur. So that's why we provide education, tools, and access to capital to more than 100 startups a year. It's been 6 years now. We are all over Europe. And it's more than 600 startups who trusted us. It's 200 that are still alive. We realized last year that we only had 3% women applying to The Family. Yeah, so 3% also in our batches, but it doesn't help really to have 3%. So we started different things because I don't pretend I have the answer. I am looking for an answer. It's a long-term process because it starts from education. Okay, it's a lack of female engineers willing to take the risk. I've been working in a non-profit organization, and for me it was much more filling in my own values. Right, I used to look down on capitalism, making money, and all these things. And it's been a long journey for me to understand that actually making money is just being aligned, okay? It's being sustainable. It's being profitable, make you free, and sets you free. And so for me, Gold Up, one of the objectives, the mission of Gold Up was to help women go through this process. It's okay, and actually you have to enjoy making money. The thing is, what I've understood is that in the women who apply at The Family, there is not one certain style. You have a bit of everything. It's just that the women that tend to apply to The Family are already self-confident, I would say, self-confident enough to pretend and to assume that they are ambitious, because we put it everywhere on our website, in our content online. Let's be ambitious, okay? And I understood that unfortunately ambition is seen as something frightening, something we wouldn't allow ourselves to be. And this thing I learned. This is something I didn't know. The more you use that word, ambition, the less women will apply.
Interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here again we have to work on that. Ambition is not a bad thing.
Now we looked at the numbers, learned about root causes. It's time to learn some strategies of successful female entrepreneurs.
My name is Kati. I'm one of the founders of Ushi. I'm also one of the CEOs. We're a female health company based here in Berlin, and me and my co-founder Christine, we introduced the first period underwear to the German market. So it's a completely new female hygiene product.
And as a first funding, you've chosen crowdfunding.
Right.
Why did you choose it over bank loan, over business angels?
We liked the idea of the crowd on the crowdfunding. We have a B2C product, so it's very important for people to know the brand, and it's also a very mission-driven business. We have very many feminist ideas that we are trying to pursue with the product and with our brand, and a crowdfunding campaign is a great possibility to enter into a market and create a buzz around a product, and at the same time raise the money that you need to kickstart yourself, which was our case.
And what is it like to explain a female product to male business angels?
It's interesting. We've learned a lot about how best to communicate. It's especially challenging when speaking to men in a business context, but it is also challenging speaking to women in a business context, just because the topic of periods as such is a taboo. And that makes it very uncomfortable for people in any kind of situation to speak about it. So we've learned our own little methods of how to make people feel comfortable. In a business context, for example, just speaking more about numbers than about use cases, for example, is very helpful. And when you speak to people in not business contexts, they often, you'll realize if they want to talk about the product in its details, or if they want to speak about their personal situations, and we kind of just let them show which way they want to take the conversation, and it's always very different. I think it is important to kind of know what you're going to survive off for the first year. Have that kind of figured out. It could be maybe someone will lend you some money, and I'm not speaking about the business side. I think you need to figure out how the business is going to sustain itself, that's one thing, but the other part is how are you going to privately finance yourself, and I'd completely separate the two. I'd kind of figure out where's the money, how much money do I need to run my business for the first year, and where am I going to get that from, and how much money do I need to sustain myself for a year, and where am I going to get that from? And when you figured both of them out, you can kind of just go into the adventure and see what happens. But if either of the two are on wobbly feet, they're going to take a lot of energy and defocus you. So ideally, I'd invest the time to sort that out before I quit my job or completely decide to go into something new.
So hey, I'm Diana, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. I founded 2 startups in the past. I also managed a software development agency in the last few years before I founded my 3rd startup. And in this startup, which is called ZK Systems, we built a scalable blockchain for IoT.
And you're currently raising a few millions. You have a female CTO. Have you always think in a different way and big, or is that something you have been taught on the way?
I think I always thought big. Even at school, I was very ambitious. I always wanted to have additional challenges. So, for example, when I was studying at Humboldt University, which belongs to top 10 in Germany, and was challenging, but it was not enough of a challenge to me. So while I was studying, I also taught myself 8 languages and to the fluency, including Chinese Mandarin. So I always needed this kind of additional challenge, and I always wanted to think big.
And just one more question around your personal finance. Do you invest into stock market? Do you put some money on the side? Do you donate?
Minimally, and the reason for that, or why I don't do much of all of that, is that I just like the time, and I also think it's currently not my highest priority, because I focus all my energy, all my time, all my weekends, so all that I have into my startup, and I want this to succeed, and I do everything to make it a success. And in order to do so, I basically have to cut all the other activities, including that.
Today we looked at the root causes why there's so few women in venture capital and raising big money. We talked to some successful female entrepreneurs and learned about their strategies. I hope you took some inspiration away, and I would be super interested, what other female entrepreneurs do you want to see covered? What do you think is the biggest obstacle to female entrepreneurship? Please comment below. I hope to see you soon.